Hello and welcome to Soul Money Mastery. This is our first free session, and I am so excited to deliver the goods. Soul Money Mastery. Wow, what is it? This journey, it's deep, okay? I'm Christina Gomes. I'm your host for today. And if you're new to my world, I help spiritual entrepreneurs, transformational facilitators, coaches, healers, high value guides, mentors, teachers who are deeply spirited and aligned and on mission, or who want to be. Entrepreneurs are very welcome in this space. If you want to work for yourself, completely for yourself, and know that your success is inevitable, that you can fill up your offers, that you can launch them, and always know that you have a job within your gifts, that you can support yourself financially, no more up and down revenue. Soul Money Mastery is deeper than money. It is not about money. It is about being able to work for yourself, leave behind any creatively draining job, or safely leave a misaligned offering and be able to sell a new, more aligned offering. Whether you're just getting started or you've been in biz for decades and want to bring a new iteration of your work forward, I am here for you. So you may have read the Soul Money Mastery free ebook, and today's purpose of this masterclass is to bring these concepts alive. I want you to leave today's masterclass with a complete understanding of how you can apply the system of the master of all systems, the Enneagram, and the myth of all myths. How you can apply both these systems cohesively to your creative aim of creating soul money, or growing soul money, or mastering soul money, and really be your own best boss. My mission is to help the big-hearted ones to take over the world, is what I'm hearing, but the big-hearted ones to be just as wealthy and abundant as people who are not doing that great of things with the money they create. When the big-hearted ones are equal in financial abundance as everybody else, we're going to really see a shift on a global scale. So Soul Money Mastery is way deeper than the money alone. And for you to be able to live the life that you are born to live, you're going to need more money, and you're going to probably need to not be distracted by jobs that aren't as powerful, because a job will take up time. Anything takes time, presence, and effort. And we only have so much energy. We can expand our energetic capacity, but we only have so much time in a day. And so when you are able to spend your time doing work you love, you'll never feel like you're working. Believe me, I have been on all day. It is dark out and there's jungle sounds, and normally I'm sleeping. And today I'm just filled with the spirit of this transmission, and I must complete this creative aim of bringing this transmission to you today. It's my goal, it's my aim, it's my mission, and I really desire for the teachings to land in a cohesive way. So that is my prayer, and I want to begin with a little prayer that these lessons land where they may, where they expand you, where they make you feel alive, where they make you feel like anything is possible because it is. And may these teachings help to release any shame around undone missions, unsung songs, any shame around the past, any failures. Failure in today's lesson simply means, and we'll discover this as we go, failure in today's lesson simply means that the wheel is not complete, that we haven't taken every step on the hero/heroine's journey. And I'm going to reveal to you every step, what it all means, and how you can walk forward knowing how to complete this creative aim of mastering your sacred calling and mastering your most meaningful career. Amazing. So we're going to talk a little bit about the archetypes. Let me go back to the last slide, because if you haven't read this book, you might want to actually pause this session and read the book. It's a quick read, and it will start to enlighten you to the possibilities, because today's session is really about having these chapters come alive. I have great visuals. I'm going to deepen each chapter, and we go over the archetypes in Soul Money Mastery. We also go over the Enneagram and the myth of all myths. And we go over the 3 parts of the Enneagram and the hero's journey. And I want to deepen all of this for you. So let's start off with the archetypes, but I'm going to be brief, because if you've read the book, then you should have a sense of which level you're at. But I'm going to go over them again because it's important to choosing which map you'll continue forward with. Okay? So level 1 is the soul searcher. At this level, you are immersed in a job. You pay the bills with a job, and you may be giving your gifts away for free. You may know that you have gifts that can be monetizable, or you may not know yet. But the key component of the soul searcher is that you're seeking for more meaningful work. But right now, you have a job that pays the bills, and you may like that job or you may not like that job. But you know, as a want-to-preneur, as someone who is seeking to make some money as a mentor, a healer, a coach, a guide, a facilitator of transformation in some way, you got to get out there and learn the ins and outs of starting a business. So the soul searcher is a lovely, lovely place to be. And the map that we're going to choose for you is the Create Soul Money map, the Create Soul Money Enneagram. And then level 2 is the conscious creator. The conscious creator may have lessened their hours in their job, and they may be doing workshops, they may be writing a book, they may be out creating content, they may be sharing their gifts in some capacity. But as it is, if you look at your financial health, if you track your revenue, it's not enough to replace your income. And this is a very beautiful place to be. And in this Enneagram, in this level 2, you want to choose the Scaling Soul Money map. So if you continue our work together, I'm going to know that which level you're at. But if you're at the conscious creative level, then you've already made some money, but it's certainly not enough to quit. It's certainly not enough to feel safe that you can support yourself from your creative gifts, but we are going to get there. The point of making soul money is so that you can live fully from your creative gifts. And that's actually what happens when you learn to master soul money. And then actually, the wealth warrior is level 3. And the wealth warrior may or may not have a job, but you have attracted clients, you have signed students, you have taught, you have made money. You have offerings that have had some level of success monetarily or success in the way that you feel about these offers, success in that some of your clients got results. It may be one-on-one offerings or groups, but at this level, the key identifying factor is that you may be on the edge of burnout. If something doesn't change in your business, maybe your offerings are not aligned anymore, or the type of client you're calling in isn't really hitting the mark. You want to work with a higher caliber client or a client at a different stage of their journey. And all of this is not to say that certain clients are better or worse, but certain clients are better or worse for you in this time now. And if things stay the same in your business, then it's no longer going to feel good and it's no longer going to be soul money. It will turn into safe money. So soul money, what was once soul money, these offerings that were meaningful and making an impact, are starting to feel stale. Whether it's a price increase that you need or a model of business that you need to switch or shift into, we will discover that as we go. But if your business has done semi-well or well, if you've made some money, whether you have a job or not, you want to shift something in your business. So you are also going to choose scaling soul money. Okay, it'll just look a little different for you than it would be for the conscious creator. Then we have at level 4, the legacy leader. And this is where I feel I'm at right now, where I have systems and strategies in my business. I know how to launch. At this stage, you are no longer asking how anymore. You're no longer asking how anymore. Legacy leaders still may want to shift their offerings. Here, I recommend adding in an offering. Here, I recommend adding in an ascension offer. You may be completely full-time in your business, however that looks for you, but systems and strategies and being able to offload some of the work, hire assistants, that's a legacy leader. So you can do the work that you were born to do and let other people do the work that's in their creative brilliance. A legacy leader is also still wanting to master soul money, because a legacy leader may, as we're mastering, setting up systems, setting up strategies, setting up rituals, you may you may notice that there is still another level for you. There's always another level. There's always a new desire that gets to drop in. Your desires are holy. If you're a spiritual human and you've been taught that your desires are bad or naughty, they certainly are not. And even if you feel grateful for all the things you've accomplished and you're at the legacy leader stage, like I am, you may want to shift up your offers, add an ascension offer, add in a new offer to have multiple streams of income. And so here you would be using the Master Soul Money Enneagram. And they're slightly different, but ultimately they are the same. Ultimately, we will all at every level be focusing on a soul aligned offering and the right strategies for bringing that offering forward, launching it or promoting it or getting it in front of the right people. We will all be focusing on that no matter which level you are at. There is no better or worse. We are all at every stage of the archetypes here looking to craft a new offer and sell a new offer. So crafting a new offer is not even that hard for some of us, but the selling of it is when things get a little hairy. And if it has been hard for you to craft a new offer or to know what your next level work is supposed to be, this is also why I created Soul Money Mastery, so that that next level of your work can drop in. And I have so many practices and rituals to make that come to life. Amazing. So here we have the 3 elements of the Enneagram. of the Enneagram. Let me also hold up my drawing of the Enneagram. So many circles, so many lines. What a beautiful symbol. This is the transmission. So just check it out for a moment, circle within a circle. This Enneagram that I have drawn, drawing it out is such a sacred process. We want to give this symbol the respect it deserves. Wow. And I want to go over each element one by one because each element is so beautiful to the whole. To have a whole map, we need each element. And so when we're working with the Enneagram, we're working with a circle, a triangle, and these 9 lines, also known as the line of supervision, also known as the law of octaves. This represents the law of octaves. So we have the circle, okay? And the circle represents wholeness. It represents unity. It represents the cyclical nature of transformation. If you are a healer or help people to heal or in the self-development world and immersing yourself in content about healing, then you know we heal in cycles. And so even a process of healing, a method for healing, could be mapped onto an Enneagram. The Enneagram that we are going to map out together will help you to leave safe money behind and immerse yourself in creating soul money, creating, scaling, or mastering soul money. And what was once safe money gets to go passive, and your soul money gets to take center stage. And so in the circle, there is also an indicator when we're working with the circle that time is involved. So this is why our clocks are round and our watches are circular. When you look at a clock, you go around clockwise and you have numbers and you have time. Time actually is only linear when it is linear. And linear time is needed. Time is not an illusion. If you want to get into a divine flow state, you want to master time. You want to understand time. And you want to understand that you can really elongate moments of bliss and goodness in your life. And you can actually shorten the times where things are not going your way. And we are going to do that together in the full program of Soul Money Mastery, because with any creative aim, there will be challenges. And with this map, we can predict where the challenges may arise or actually will arise. So we can prepare and prepare for these challenges. And I have a very special method and way that we will be softening the blows of these challenges, these inevitable obstacles that come in any great extraordinary feat. Okay? This is not your first rodeo. I know that you have created amazing things before, and manifestation has sold you a lie. You did not get those things from prayer and visualization alone. We're going to talk about these aspects of the creative process, but visualization, prayer, and intention setting is only part of the process. It is a part, but it's not the full teaching. So manifestation is not a full teaching, and that's a shame, because people get into the manifestation world because we're deep, because it makes sense, and they think that all these people that said they manifested a yacht got it from prayer. Just visualize the yacht and the yacht will come. But there were other things involved. There were actions there were presentation, there were other things involved that we're going to get into that are involved in any creative endeavor, whether you're conscious of it or not. So this session today is making you conscious of the creation process so that you can consciously create the goal, the aim, and in this sense, the money that matters and is meaningful, matters to you, but also matters to the people that invested in themselves to co-create with you. You're going to craft an offering so deep and unique and irresistible and creatively perfect, really. I mean, none of this is about perfection, but if you look at each of these symbols separately, they're perfection. And you put them together, they're perfection. They're symmetrical, they're aligned, and they don't fail. It is perfect. And we don't have to strive for perfect, but if we walk this Enneagram, this map that we're going to create, you will have a perfect plan, at least. And if you don't skip a step, perfection is abound. If you want to move from messy to mastery, stick with me. It's not about perfection, and you don't have to strive for perfection when you map your creative goal on a perfect system. It cannot fail. We'll get to that in a moment. So the circle, unity, wholeness, cyclical nature. One of my most successful clients, Tiffany, actually also taught a system to help her wild mamas master their life, take hold of their life and master their dreams, even as mothers. And the system that she taught was the medicine wheel. And the medicine wheel is also within a circle. So there are many, many ancient wisdom teachings that the circle is involved. Another symbol that I relate to deeply is the Sri Yantra. I have this symbol tattooed on my body. It involves a circle and it is my logo, the Sri Yantra. So we're not going to get too deep into that symbol today, but just to give you the understanding that symbols are sacred, and they're sacred for a reason. There's actually math involved. It's backed by the universe, and the universe is made of math. If you ever watched the Netflix program Infinity, you can Google it, you can watch it. It blew my mind. But I've never been good at math. I actually was in advanced classes in school my whole life. But in all the advanced classes, they took me out of the advanced classes and put me anywhere else when it came to math. I never related to math. I never understood math, except for now, when it relates to these geometrical symbols. Because if you do the math of the Enneagram, if you divide 1 by 7, you get the line of supervision, which is all the way to the right. There's 9 lines, and we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves here, but I know that you're smart, wise, and you love to learn new things. That's why you're here. But just know that the more that this gets repeated, the more it gets remembered. But when you think about oneness, wholeness, unity, oneness, the circle, you can also understand creation on this dimension through the triangle, because we have the circle, oneness, wholeness, and then creation always has 3 forces. Every creative endeavor, creative process, it is not dual. Creation is not dual. Creation has 3 forces. And the Indian people, the Hindi people, if you've studied yoga, the people of that region, they have known this since spirit was written down. The first spiritual books were known as the Vedas. And in the yogic tradition, And in the Vedas, created thousands and thousands of years ago, the creation was known to have three faces. Okay? The three faces were, and you're going to love this if you know it, but Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the sustainer, and Shiva, the destroyer. And no god in this triad was better or worse. All three are needed to create. All three are needed for the whole. So in the yogic tradition, they personified creation. And here we are mapping out any creation on this symbol. But you can understand this in many different ways. So the three forces, there's an active force, a passive force, and a neutralizing force. This is so beautiful because any and all conflict is neutralized by a third force. So whenever you're thinking that your soul money and your safe money are in competition with each other, we are going to return to the neutralizing force, which is your soul aligned offering and selling it. We're going to go over this in detail in the next slide. But remember here now that there are three forces to everything. This neutralizes conflict. This will never be me against you. When it's me against you, this is duality. And duality is not the truth of reality. Duality, it rhymes. Duality is not the truth of reality. And you will find that a majority of people live at the level of he said, she said, duality, conflict. This is why we have wars, and we cannot prevent or control the things outside of us. But when we can neutralize duality within us, then we're doing the best we can. We're doing our part. So your job and your offering may feel like they're in competition with each other, because if you only have a certain amount of hours in a day and you don't want to stay up till 1 a.m. Every night, or maybe you do. One of my clients loves to burn the midnight oil. Oh, I just have to take a break and kiss this baby. Oh, I love it. One of my clients loves that. I'm an early riser and anything is possible. Here I am delivering this message in the nighttime, in the mysterious darkness of the creative potential where all swirling realities exist. We want to bring some structure to that energy. And so here's the structure. Whenever you're in conflict, whenever you're immersed in duality, whenever you're stuck, you're most likely ping-ponging back and forth between black and white thinking, between yes and no mentality, and there's always a third force. So for our purposes, the third force will be selling your soul-aligned offering. In order to create soul money, we need to return to selling our soul-aligned offering so that we can turn the safe money passive. So beautiful. So briefly, the line of supervision, it goes with the law of octaves. It represents the law of octaves. So let me put on a little show for you. Okay, you ready? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Oh, and that's with no warm-up. I still got my singing skills. When you hear an octave, you feel complete. Let me try that. Let me see if I can even do this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Are you singing do? Are you singing do? When we do not complete an octave, We haven't failed, we're just not done, and we will feel incomplete. So, the line of supervision helps us to map out the necessary steps in any creative endeavor. So let's go over that in more detail. Here's the Enneagram all put together, all three parts making up the full Enneagram. It's so cute. Thank you for existing. And thank you so much for working your magic through me. Remember that this is a magical process, okay? Amazing. So here's a representation of what I was speaking to earlier around the triangle being where we're going to start. And what we're always going to be returning to is the top of the triangle. To the right of the triangle is what gets burned away or set passive. So in any creative endeavor, you will set something passive or burn something away. With any aim, something always, always, always must be set passive or burned away. And then in the active, on the left side of the triangle, the active force is our soul money. This is the will of the event. If the master of all systems is an event, it's a creation event, the will of the event is sort of like the why. So soul money is the why. And so safe money is a job, a misaligned offering, or someone else's offering. Maybe you're an affiliate, or you were in an MLM in the past, or you MRR, whatever that is. Like you're selling something else. You're selling something that isn't about your thought leadership. When you're selling this thing, you're making somebody else probably more money than you're making yourself. So it's basically a job. It's safe. It might work. It might not work well enough, but it's all safe. We want to burn it away. We want to set it passive, but don't quit just yet. Now, in soul money, you're making your own money from your creative gifts with an aligned as fuck new offering, or you have systems, you have strategies, a funnel, an ascension offer could be soul money. So if you're at the legacy leader stage of mastering soul money, then you might be creating a funnel so that you can be a little bit more hands-off. Amazing. And we're always returning to, in this Enneagram, our selling of our soul aligned offering. Now, I want to speak to what is a soul aligned offering for a moment, because there's different content, there's different models of a soul aligned offering. And if you've been following me for a while, I've been helping transformational facilitators create, launch, and sell high value offerings, mostly. And a lot of people were getting confused around high value and what's the price of that. So I did develop a pricing masterclass that you can also get for free. Message me, you'll get it in the freebie vault. And pricing is something that I work on deeply with all of my clients because it's so personal, and high value doesn't mean a high price. And a high price is all subjective. So I will help you to price your offer, and just know that your aligned offering could be a book, could be something cheaper than what you're selling now. It could be a paid workshop. It could be a package of sessions, a course, a school, a retreat. What makes the offer aligned is that you are feeling like it's your next level work, like it's your new teachings, like it's how you want to be seen now, whether you've been growing into somebody new for years or you just had an awakening moment last week and you knew that you are meant to teach on this. If you're a natural born teacher and you're at a certain level, you don't need a lot of time. But no matter where you are, which level you are at, what archetype you got in the money quiz, selling your soul aligned offering is the only way to master soul money. You need to have an offering to have a business. If you are creating content or growing your platform, then this is not the full aim of Soul Money Mastery. You will grow your platform as a byproduct of the aim of selling your soul aligned offering. But I want us to think bigger. My mission is to help you have a sustainable business, because if you can fully support yourself, there's less and less cogs in the machine to support the billionaires who are just going to keep making more and more money off the backs of the underprivileged. Okay. If you're anything like me, you didn't grow up with a silver spoon in your mouth. I had no investors. I have no parents supporting me. I have had to be self-made. I had a couple of friends give me some investments, but because they saw that I would never quit. They saw what a persistent, honest, go-getter kind of person that I was. And these are the types of people that get those kinds of investments and opportunities. But as a business, you are entitled to the same business collateral. Is collateral the word? The same business investments, and I can't think of the word right now, but you are a real business. If you have an offering, you are a real business. Just because you are in the spiritual niche, just because you're deep or big hearted, doesn't mean that this is a fakey hobby business. I have made 6-figure years, have made $500,000 in revenue altogether since I started tracking. And many, many years before that, making soul money, little bits of soul money here and there as a soul searcher. But really like working in yoga studios for people that really shouldn't have been calling themselves yogis because they were assholes. And I was way more creatively, I was way more creative. Ain't nobody can boss me around. If you're anything like me, you are unemployable actually, and you feel stifled by your employment. Now, you might actually really love your job and still want to master and scale soul money because you want multiple streams of revenue. Whatever your reason for wanting to fill up an offering, Soul Money Mastery and the continued journey of it is going to get you there. Okay. Mastering soul money is going to get you there. Walking the path fully of the Enneagram is going to get you there. So excited. So is all this clear? Okay. We're always returning to selling your soul aligned offering. This is a strategy. This is a magical strategy. Safe money goes passive. Soul money is now active, all because you sold your soul aligned offering. Now, if you don't know how to sell in a soul aligned way, then there will be an invitation into my Conscious Creative Business School, where you get my transformational sales course as part of the school. Okay, I'll be delivering that course live at some time in the future. And if you're in the school, you are invited to any course I deliver live. So keep that in mind. And if you don't know how to launch this offer, I also have my Love to Launch formula, which I will be teaching next live. So first I'm teaching Soul Money Mastery live. If you're watching this in the way future, you might be getting it self-paced, and that's cool too. But I will be hosting my Love to Launch formula live, and that's going to be really fun as well. So I've got you. There's never going to be a question of how if you're working with me. It's a very normal question. The reason why you haven't met every single one of your creative aims without fail is because you didn't have me by your side. You didn't map out the Enneagram. It doesn't fail. And sometimes we walk the Enneagram and we get distracted. And I'm here to keep you on octave. I'm here to keep you in key. So going back to the line of supervision and the law of octaves, if you look at the top of the pyramid, the next line is do. It's point rather. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Around and around. Okay? I forgot why I was here. I was having so much fun singing. Anywho, we'll go back here. Amazing. So when you're off key, a good facilitator, a good singing coach would help you to stay on octave, on key. I'm not perfect every time, but because I have committed to moving through stage fright, which you read about in my free ebook, because I committed to moving through stage fright, I sing often because I'm devoted to my practices. I'm devoted to what I'm devoted to. I'm devoted to my missions. If my mission is to sing better, we practice. You have to sing. You have to take action, right? I wouldn't expect to get abs by like praying for them. I would maybe do a crunch. I don't know how to get abs. Maybe eat differently, but we could do the abs, the Enneagram of getting abs, but we're not right now. We are in the Enneagram, in the system, in the map of living your sacred calling full time. And to me, this is the most valuable teaching and the most valuable way I can teach the Enneagram to you, because you will learn that the Enneagram can exist for any creative goal. But in order to even make wilder goals, to say, I want to, travel through Europe for a year, what do you need for that? Money. So we complete this goal, we master this aim, and other goals that are mapped on the Enneagram that need money to come to fruition, you won't have to get that money from other places. You'll be able to, quote unquote, manifest it, create it. You'll be able to create it. You'll be able to know that anything that you want to create, that where money is involved, you just got to go, how many seats do I need to sell of my soul aligned offering to be able to fly first class to Bali? How many seats of my soul aligned offering do I need to be able to get a fancy haircut? How many seats of my soul aligned offering do I need to sell to be able to, and list your wildest dream? We're not here for survival. We're here for thrival. Amazing. This is my favorite slide, and I'm so excited to reveal. Look at this goddess. So the hero's journey is quite sexist, if you ask me. What if God was one of us, including a woman? Well, she is. You are a heroine or a hero if you're male-bodied, or you're the they version of the hero or the heroine. And we are going to see right here and now how this myth of all myths can help you to never quit, to be prepared, and to see your creative aim all the way through, to sell as many seats into your soul aligned offering as you would love. Okay? So look at this for a moment, right? Now, each point on the Enneagram is numbered in order like a clock. But when we map out this Enneagram, we don't go in order like a clock. This is how we're able to go forward and backward in time, look at the hero's journey from a future-focused approach, because we know that any story has this pattern. We know this. Joseph Campbell coined this term, and I have his book right here, The Power of Myth. I have my encyclopedia of world mythology. And you do not have to become a mythologist or a depth psychologist or know anything about myths to master soul money, because Joseph Campbell already did the work. He understood that in any story, including all creation stories, there was a pattern. Every story is one story. The universe, one verse, one song. Every story is the same story, and in a good way. Okay, this helps us to see that if we failed, the story is not complete. If we are being challenged, it means we're at one of the more challenging points of the journey. Okay, so we're going to map this out in way more detail in our next session together, because drawing this out is a very sacred endeavor. And I want to go with you. I want to make sure that you don't get stuck, that you're drawing it accurately, that you're putting all of the pieces of the puzzle in the correct place, and that you feel supported as you get to the more challenging moments. I'm going to be with you on your journey, even when it gets tough. Okay. You're going to be able to ask your personal questions. And if you have any personal questions so far, on the Soul Money Mastery enrollment page, I have a chat box. And if you don't have WhatsApp downloaded on your phone or your desktop, it's going to invite you to do that. But successful people are persistent people. So you just want to do what you got to do to message me in that chat box, and I will answer you. I will answer your question about Soul Money Mastery and if it's right for you. And if you know that you want to craft a next level offer and know exactly how to fill it up, and not just once, but forever, then stick with me, because I have a very special announcement and invitation, and you're going to flip when you hear about this invitation. Okay, so we actually go from point 1 to point 4, see the line, to point 2, to point 8. I think I have a pointer here. Point 1 to 4, to 2, to 8, to 5, to 7, to 1. Where are these triangle points? They are something different, but when put on this map, they become a part of the whole. So you saw the 3 components separate, but together they make the entirety of the heroine's journey. So let's do that again. This is how we go forward and backward in time. So if we were to go around the clock in the hero's journey, you would feel that call to adventure. And just so you know, right now we're at the top of the pyramid, point 0/9. And I'm going to make special note of what that means in just a moment. But we are actually here on the map. You are here on the map. Amazing. Find yourself here. Now, when we map it out, we get to go forward and backward in time. But then when we have the map, we start around the clock. We start going around the clock and proceeding with the creation story, right? We're going to walk the story. We're not going to intellectualize the goal forever. We're actually going to walk the story and meet all the things we're meant to meet, to become who we're meant to become, and ultimately bring back the elixir, alchemize whatever we needed to alchemize so that we become who we're meant to become, but mostly so that we succeed at the aim. Okay, so that we succeed at mastering soul money and selling our soul aligned offering. Okay, so 1 is the call to adventure. Here on the Enneagram, it's the intention. So we go from 1 to 4, knowing that, oh my goodness, on this journey, we are going to be met with a test. There's going to be enemies. There's actually limitations. When you know your intention, say your intention is to sell 5 seats in your soul aligned offering, and you can create this intention without knowing exactly what the offering is yet. That's part of it. We'll get there. But from 1 to 4, we go, oh, wow, there's always a limitation. We're met with a limitation. Okay. What I have come to know is that limitations create style. So, say you want to sell 5 seats in your soul aligned offering. What is the limit? I don't have a software that allows me to take 5 people through this program. I don't have the program developed yet. I don't have time right now. Okay, these are our limits. We really want to unlock them, face them, unveil them, really be real with ourselves and say, what are our limits? Maybe I don't know something that I need to know. So this is very beautiful because it goes back to 2. And 2, we meet the mentor. We gather tools. So I would really love to be your mentor. So if you're meeting me for the first time or we've met before, I would be honored to not only teach you how to do this yourself, but to hold space for all the parts of you that come online whenever you're walking a path of extraordinariness, of greatness. Any great feat was met with challenges. And so many people quit because they don't have the right support. So we may, or yes, we're saying that we're at 0-9, but if you're honest with yourself, you've had this intention in your heart for a long time, and now you're meeting the mentor. Okay. We go from 2 to 8. So we just want to know that we are going to create something that lasts. Retention, or the road back, is about knowing that this is not going to be a flash in the pan. You are going to have something created, a soul aligned offering created, that you can continue to sell for a year, years and years. I sold one signature offering for many, many years, many iterations of one offering, and it made me majority of the $500,000 in revenue that I've made. And that's really the beauty of systems and strategy, is you don't have to reinvent the wheel. This is a wheel. We just want to know that when we get to point 8, we aren't stopping because the wheel is not complete until we make it to point 9. And so here we will be already thinking of the future. How do we make it better the next time, right? We already want to know that with a sustainable business, you will be crafting an offering that you know you want to make better over time. This takes the pressure off of the first time you offering it, needing it to be absolutely perfect, or being the price, your perfect like future price. You don't have to charge what you want to charge. Ultimately, you can work your way up to that with a foundational member launch, also called a beta launch, also called a minimal viable product. All these businessy words are going to make more sense as we craft the offer together. So we then go back in time to action. We're going to map out what action you're going to be taking to bring this offer forward. So I teach a launch process that has worked for myself, but also for my clients, to have 5-figure launches in their very first launch. I also have clients that don't launch and they simply promote their offerings where eyeballs are on them. So you don't even have to have a large audience on social media. A lot of my clients got their filled up programs from a mix of social media and a mix of in-person methods. So I will teach more on that if that's interesting to you inside the full program. We then go to presentation. You will be presenting this offering, and then we immediately go back to the intention. So we are moving forward and backward in time. If the presentation, at the presentation level, there's not much more that you can do. Okay. This is not the action. You've taken the action and the customers are eating the food and it's out of your control. So the best way to not get stuck here is to go back to your intention and start walking the journey again. Okay. So if we go around the clock in alignment with the hero's journey, we are called to adventure. This work is a calling. Let me be clear that safe money is easier money. When people say to you, running a business is easy, they're not being completely truthful. The way that I bring this to light is by letting you know that a lot of times our thoughts or the way that we handle things or unresolved trauma or lack of support makes it harder than it has to be. But it is not easy, and this hero's journey is an opportunity to understand that any great feat, any remarkable story, anything that makes an impact in your psyche, any story that's ever made an impact in your psyche had a challenge. Someone needed to overcome a challenge. And when I used to map out my songs onto a structure, into the structure of a song, I used to teach on this. I taught a 5-day soulful songwriting class that you also get inside of the business school. You get all of that. That's a fun one. It doesn't really have to do with business, but it could be fun for you. And whenever you're working that creative muscle and kind of not forcing the goal, things start to get into flow. So I used to map my songs and channel them really because, and they were so relatable. What I want to say is they were so relatable because people felt themselves in my songs, because I wasn't singing about rainbows and butterflies. I was singing about the rainbows and butterflies that come as a gift of overcoming challenge. And isn't that the myth of all myths? Isn't that the story embedded in everything? There is not a life that you have heard of that didn't have some kind of challenge that the human had to overcome. Life is school. Life is school, and we're going to be challenged, and we're going to learn lessons from these challenges, and our souls are going to evolve, and we're going to have so much growth. And people that have never experienced any challenge, they're sort of boring. They're sort of vanilla. They're sort of plain. They don't have stories to tell. Now, if you're resonating with my work, you've gone through those dark nights of the soul, and it was not for naught. Does that make sense? Not for naught. It wasn't in vain. These challenges had a meaning. They had a meaning. You learned your lesson and you most likely got your gifts, but all unconsciously, because there are points on this journey where it gets challenging. Okay. So 2, we meet the mentor. 3, we cross the threshold. So if you look at the triangle from point 3 to point 6, from the passive force to the active force, from who you were to who you're becoming, from safe money to soul money. That line is incredible. You see the goddess standing right in the center of the line. This is crossing the threshold. Once you transform, you can't go back. And at point 3, there will be some sort of challenge. It doesn't have to be a challenge that is insurmountable, but even the smallest of challenges, people make a mouse out of a molehill. What the fractal does that mean? Why did I just say that? I don't know what some of these colloquialisms mean, but if you do, let me know. But they just make a bigger deal out of things that, with support, could be released. I want to think of an example, and I'm just thinking of my client today who is about to launch her program. She's been going viral. She's about to launch her first packaged up program. She's an impeccable coach. She's an author. She's a pole dance instructor, and she's going to be helping women over 50 to feel comfortable and sexy in their skin. And yes, I helped her come up with that message. It is one of my gifts. One of my many gifts in helping entrepreneurs is messaging and launching. And so she came to me today with an obstacle. She felt like she wanted to quit and she felt like she wasn't prepared. And sometimes even a feeling can cause you to think you're not cut out for this or to just think it's too hard. But with the right support and the right guidance, you can cross this threshold and you will be forever changed. This is the point of no return, is where this wild chick is boogieing. Okay. And once you make it through that challenge, don't worry, it's not the last one. But I don't want to scare you because consciously or unconsciously, the cat is breaking things. Oh my God, that's right. Holy shit. That's a challenge, challenging my eyeballs. Consciously or unconsciously, you've been challenged in the past. In some scenarios, you've made it mean something that it didn't have to mean. And so my role in this moment is to help you to understand that when you are challenged, the wheels are in motion. It means it's working. Hold on. Take the tools that you gathered, and we'll be doing something very, very, very special at point 3 together to soften the challenge and prepare ourselves for it. Okay. Then tests and allies come next. So we're going to see what our real limitations are. So when we map it out, we're going to predict it. But after you go through that first challenge, you're going to see that maybe there are different limits. You're going to see what you actually need. You're going to see who you actually need to become. And if you don't have some of the qualities of a successful person, like persistence, devotion, then this first test is meant to turn those characteristics online so that you can become someone who succeeds at everything forever. Okay. Then we move into action. I will be teaching you exactly how to launch, how to promote, the actions that you get to take in your business that make filling up your offer non-negotiable. And without these actions, you won't be able to fill up your offer. And so I can already tell you that one of the actions is actually inviting. So there are many different actions that you can take, and it will be different depending on which Enneagram is yours, because of which level you're at, and which feels like what actions feel inspiring to your lifestyle, to your intention, your specific intention. And you're going to have me by your side to make sure that you're taking right action. Okay. Did I finish the story with my client? Yes, she got the right support, and she was like almost immediately, like just with one phrase, we turned it around and we started working on the practicalities of her landing page, her enrollment page, and what does she want to say on that enrollment page? Okay. It was like where, it could be these one thoughts that keep people in limbo forever. So I'm so happy to be able to support my clients. And sometimes it seems so simple, but wow, simplicity really is the key sometimes of just like, hey, let's slow down and see what is truth here and see where we're making a mountain out of a molehill, a mouse out of a molehill, where we're making a mountain out of a molehill. That makes much more sense, don't you think? Now I get it. Great. And like, if you have to jump over a molehill, I can't believe I'm trying to make this make more sense, but mountains, you can climb them too. Okay. There's mountains all around me. People climb them all the time. I have committed to no longer just like me, the tiniest violin of how hard things are, because everything's hard. Everything will be hard the first time you do it. And then even now at the legacy leader stage, there are things that are harder than some things, but it does get easier over time. But there are easier ways to make money, but we are not trying to make any kind of money. We want to make soul money, because really, really, it is the most meaningful thing that you can do in this life, is to be a sovereign being and take your financial health into your own hands. You will never have financial sovereignty working for yourself, even if you make a lot of money, because you will always be subject to the company that you work for's rules. And if you're royalty, that doesn't really if you're royalty, or even princes and princesses don't want to be bossed around like that. Princes and princesses are still royalty. So if you're in your princess era, or you just are a princess, like, you still shouldn't be working for, oh shit, I heard peasants. People who are less creatively aligned, and people who are not supposed to be bossing you around. Anyway, so next we get to the ordeal. So this is another challenging moment. We can predict there will be an ordeal here. Do not worry. Something will come up, and you just get to decide that you are on a mission. And it may slow you down. You want to give more time to this point. And something really, really special that I'm not going to reveal here, we will be doing together in Soul Money Mastery, the full program. And then you get the reward at point 7. You present it and you get immediate rewards, because the reward for me is teaching to people. The reward for me is people hearing my message, understanding, receiving the transmissions, and being expanded from them. The money is a byproduct of point 7. The money is a byproduct of the reward. Say you were you had the business of a restaurant. At point 7, you would have dropped the plate. You're the chef. You would have dropped the plate. There's nothing more that you can do. And the reward is watching the satisfied customer eating the dish. Yeah. Amazing. And then some people will be dissatisfied. So that's where point 8 comes into play, of like, especially the first round, just know that you're going to get better over time. And unless you're teaching them an Enneagram, some people might not get a result and right away. And we want to pay attention to that, because we don't want to put pressure on our people to get results in our divine timing, to make it mean something about us. With transformational guidance, your coaching, your teaching, your mentorship, your healing sessions, they expand people over time. So even if you do not get an immediate validation, just know that your people grow over time too. Many of my clients are like, "You're good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you." They write me love notes after the sessions. This does happen. And some of my clients are more reserved and they do not do that. And I do not, go around trying to believe that they're not happy just to create drama. And there at point 8, we would be asking for feedback. We would send people emails that didn't buy and ask them why they didn't buy so that we can spin the wheel again and continue to sell our soul aligned offering. So we'll always go back to selling our soul aligned offering. So if your old offering is not lighting you up, do not light it on fire. Keep selling it, keep doing what you're doing, and let's craft a new offering inside of either Soul Money Mastery or the Conscious Creative Business School, where Soul Money Mastery is a part of that. Okay, so are you ready to make a decision? We've come to the point in our journey together where you get to show off your successful chops, because the most successful people are decided people. People often ask me, did you really double and triple every investment you made in yourself, and how? 2 reasons. I didn't say I needed to double my investment in a day. I didn't put that kind of pressure on myself. I don't set goals just to spank my little booty in shame of not meeting my goals. I set goals knowing that there's also a divine at play, and that means that divine timing is at play. And if a challenge is pausing me for a moment, it's for my good. But I decided beforehand that I was going to become who I needed to become and do what I needed to do that was aligned with my values. I mean, I've never done anything that wasn't aligned with my values, but I've never worked with assholes who, if you have, I'm sorry, that sucks. And some of my friends have. Some of my friends have invested $10,000 on programs that were not aligned with who they were. They weren't for spiritual entrepreneurs. And sometimes we need to make those mistakes. It doesn't mean that we are bad at making choices or investments. It's just, I also made bad investments. It just is this one isn't going to be. And you get to decide that you want to complete this magical process or make a conscious decision that you don't. Because we are at point 0.9, where we are sounding the dough. We are getting prepared for an octave, and this is sacred. When you sound dough, you can almost not stop. You can't just say do. Do, re, mi. The do will carry you to the re and the mi. But the fa, do, re, mi, fa, so, that's where it starts to get a little bit tricky. And we are predicting this. But the do, re, mi, that's going to be fun. That's going to be good to go. All right. So if you make the decision to start this magical process, there are consequences to not finishing it. So I'm also giving you full permission, which you don't need my permission, but full permission to make a decision of no. What really, really trips people up is staying stuck in decision fatigue. So you get to decide yes, or you get to decide no. And if you need a clarifying question answered, then you better ask, because if you don't, then you are choosing to stay in the most tiring energy possible. Decision fatigue is real. And once you decide that you are joining Soul Money Mastery, that this time's going to be different because it's designed to be, that you cannot fail, that you forgive yourself for past failures, They weren't even failures. You just did not complete the process, and you're devoted to your call. If you have already decided that, then you are going to flip when you see how affordable continuing the journey gets to be. But first, I want to give you a warning. And this is a warning. If you begin a magical process again, intentionally or unintentionally, the consequences to not completing it are as follows: losing trust in your word and taking a big dip in confidence. This may have already happened to you, or you may be one of the wise ones who is just getting started and wants to skip the line with not making as many mistakes by learning from mine and being guided by somebody who's made all the mistakes so you don't have to. But here, you may have noticed that you say you want to do something and you don't trust that you'll do it. And this is only because of a pattern that you're stuck in. So we're not going to stay stuck in a pattern anymore. One of my gifts is to help you to see a pattern, release the pattern, and walk in the way that you are proud to walk, right? And if you say you're going to do something enough times and you don't do it, you lose trust in your own word. And this has consequences that ripple out. Because if you don't trust your own word, then you become untrustable to others. And the way to sell a soul-aligned offering is through trust. We'll get deeper into that, I'm sure, in Soul Money Mastery. But if you've already lost trust in yourself and in your word, can you commit to forgiving yourself and to getting back up on the magical horse, also known as a unicorn, and building that trust back up with yourself? Because if you've tried something and you didn't make it to the goal, it's only because you didn't know how. And if you've lost your confidence, we can gain that back. Confidence grows when you say you're going to do something and you do it. And it's little things. It could be, today I'm going to complete my ritual. Today I'm going to ask Christina a question. Involve yourself. Participate in life by participating in Soul Money Mastery. It's the greatest investment you're ever going to make. Now, I want you to forgive yourself, because the main reason you didn't complete your goal before was because you didn't know how. And not all of your coaches knew how to do what I know how to do. And not all of your coaches were equipped to teach you. Maybe they were equipped to teach their people, but they weren't equipped to teach you. Or they were bullshit artists and they didn't know how. And they probably didn't mix the practical how to with the woo woo. Okay. And another reason why you might have failed, and remember, failing is just means that you got to pick up where you left off. You didn't fail because you're not done. But why you haven't completed is you probably skipped a step. And then the most common one is you thought the obstacles meant it's not for you. So big reminder. If the only thing you get from this session is that obstacles mean it's working, keep going, but don't keep trying stuff that isn't on the map. Map it out with me so you are not flailing and flinging spaghetti at the wall. I just made a post that was like, flinging spaghetti at the wall is like being in an Italian restaurant where the chefs are children. And if you don't want your clients, students, and customers to feel like they're engaging with the business that is run by little Italian children, then I invite you to plan. And not just any plan, Plan this creative goal to sell your soul aligned offer with me and walk the path with me. You're going to be so incredibly fulfilled with what you receive in Soul Money Mastery, because it's not just here to help you make money once, it's help you to make money. This work will help you to make money for a lifetime. And so I have two options and several different payment plans. I want you to stay with me, because if you want to get the pay in full discounts and bonuses, I just set up a way for you to do this where I receive the pay in full and you get to break it up in chunks. So if you want to join and receive $112 off, and first of all, are you astonished? If you've been following me for a while, checking out my sales pages, looking at my mentorships, you know that I sell $8,000 programs and above. My lowest priced offering over the last year has been $8,000. I've sold a few $1,200 programs, but $8,000 is what I normally sell at. So this program was birthed not because I needed money. It is a way for me to bring this teaching to the masses because it's asking to be brought to the masses. And nobody else is teaching it this way like I am. You're not going to be able to get this information anywhere else. And I'm so honored that this teaching and this muse is moving through me. It feels incredibly on point, and I go first. This is a new offering. This is me saying, Safe Money, love ya, but soul money isn't always about making more money. It's about making money that matters. So if you're like, wow, I normally charge 10 times this, that is the truth of this offering. And my offerings do rise in price over time. This is the foundational member price. I'm so excited to bring this work to people. And I want this first round to be full of the right people, full of people who've been wanting to learn from me, been waiting for the moment, waiting for the sign. This is your sign that it's time. Okay. And when you're rolling in the dough, you can always sign up for a mentorship level. And what I want you to know is I'm going to give you my all in this offering. You are going to get personally coached. You are going to get every personal question answered. You are going to get deep dive support, and you're going to have breakthroughs that you never thought possible. You're going to become someone who succeeds for a lifetime. And so you won't need a $1 million coach again and again and again. You make this investment in yourself now and you master it. You keep walking the one plan. You can make adjustments as you move, and you will be abundant AF, but also be able to leave behind safe money forever and always. And whatever is inside your comfort bubble that's keeping you small with the illusory safety that isn't even real, you're just going to become someone who is safe and secure in any scenario. Okay. Any scenario involving money or otherwise. Okay. You are going to become the master of this system, the master of your own financial destiny. Okay. So you can pay in full. I set up an afterpay system. There's two afterpay systems. There's Afterpay and there's Klarna. And Klarna allows you to do big payments and split it up. But why I left here the payment plan option is $200 a month is because I'm not sure what Klarna gives you for a payment plan, but it gives me pay in full. And so you will save $112. There's one more option, so please stay with me. But what I want you to do is, if you only want soul money mastery, is you can go to the pay in full option and see if the Klarna works for you. They're not going to charge you until they tell you how much monthly you're going to pay. But if you have good credit or you are a trustworthy person, then they're going to let you do it. But I do know that, people who have messed up their credit, they're still great, amazing people and can become business owners with a lot of money. That was me. Like, I completely left the system. I didn't have any credit because I was completely out of the system. I was working for myself, but I wasn't tracking it. I was working in Thailand, which is totally illegal. And I'm sorry, please forgive me. Ho'oponopono. And like, it just wasn't trackable. And so I didn't have credit. I wasn't able to get credit cards. And so these kinds of opportunities I took advantage of again and again and again. And it's how I was able to stack knowledge then I was able to run my business better because of stacking knowledge. And then I was able to hire higher level programs and higher level mentors from the income I was making in my business. So wherever you are is a perfect place to be. Maybe you can just pay it in full and not worry about it. This is also very beautiful. Amazing. But I know if you have a job, if you have a job, which you should have a job, if you don't have a job, then you don't have any money. And like, that's not safe at all. Do you feel safe? But you may also have an investor or, somebody that pays for your life. Well, let them know the reason why you want $200 a month for 5 months, and they will for sure lend you the money or gift you this amazing gift of an offering. But hold up, okay? If you want this offering and many, many more, all the self-paced offerings I've ever created on marketing, sales, energetics, everything business related, and some things creative related, like my teacher training on integrative chakra psychology, or my soulful songwriting 5-day journey. These are the fun programs that will give you a lot of value that also come in this school. But what else comes in the school that is so incredibly important is continued support. For as long as you're in the school, you will get live weekly Q&A. You will get personal questions answered. You will get a question a week answered, okay? And I know that you have burning questions. So you do not want these questions swirling around in your mind. I'm going to be delivering Soul Money Mastery live, so you'll be able to ask your questions live. We'll be working together live. I'll be coaching you live. But continued support comes in the school. So Soul Money Mastery is 6 weeks. So imagine you come into Soul Money Mastery and you get to point 5. You want to keep asking those questions. You want to keep getting that support. And so for the same price a month, you can get inside the school, and you can also simultaneously learn my transformational sales process, simultaneously learn my love to launch formula, simultaneously learn my messaging formulas, and everything that has, made my clients a bunch of money, really. Like, these skills are timeless. The skills that I teach in the biz school are things that you need to know to run a successful business. You need marketing skills. You need to have a message. You need to have an irresistible offer. You need to know how to launch. And you need to have the energy and mindset of somebody that can lead themselves through obstacles and challenges, because how the hell are you going to lead somebody else if you can't lead yourself? If you know, you know. Now, the pay in full option is also available with the Afterpay with Klarna. I just haven't bought my own program. So you go through it, you click the register now button, because if you pay in full even if you chunk it up with Klarna, I hope this is making sense. And if it's not, ask in that chat box because it's clear, but I can clarify it even more if you have any doubts. But you click on the register now button, you take yourself through the Klarna. They're going to break it up in chunks, let you know how much you pay monthly, but I will receive the pay in full. So you will still save $400 and you will get 4 private mentorship calls with me over the course of a year. And this is very spectacular, is what is moving through, but it's very wise. It's very strategic. Most businesses are run in quarterly chunks. And so each quarter, we are going to meet. You'll get a call as soon as you join, and we are going to meet. And I'm going to coach you. I'm going to guide you. I'm going to answer your questions, and it's all private. And this is the most affordable private mentorship I have ever given for especially the length. So for a whole year, you get me in your corner, guiding you, coaching you with the live Q&A, with live Soul Money Mastery, and hold up, everything live that I teach on for an entire year, as long as you're in the school, because at the payment plan level, you can cancel anytime. If you join Soul Money Mastery, you can cancel after 5 payments have been made, but you can cancel anytime. So after, wait, what am I saying here? Yes. So you're going to, I don't know why I'm stuck on the cancel anytime. Anyway, an entire year of guidance is available to you if you so choose. And if you want to just pay in full, be committed, be devoted, this is the most affordable mentorship I have ever given. So please, 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 if you know that you want to be supported to this aim by somebody who absolutely gets you, you can try me. I have heard of every weird gift under the sun. If you're a psychic, you're a mystic, or you're very, very practical, you're a fellow business coach, you're an Akashic Records reader, you're an astrologer, you're somebody who helps people transition from corporate, whether you help people with their businesses, their spiritual life, their health. I have heard of every kind of gift, and I'm here for it. I'm here to help you package up these gifts into the next iteration of your work. But not only that, to launch it in a way that feels profesh and to fill that bish up, to really fill that up, to sell as many seats in that offering that leads you to mastering selling your soul aligned offering. Because once you master selling one soul aligned offering, you'll know how to sell the next one faster. Or you might just want to keep it up with this offering. And you can. I sold one offering for many, many years. And now we're moving up in the world. So let me bring us back to this slide. And I want to have us tune in to success on your terms to close. How I feel most successful doesn't have to be how you feel most successful. And success on your last coach's terms and the way she told you to get success and what success was for her or him, it didn't quite align, if you're honest. And whether you want to be a millionaire or you're very, very happy with a beautiful side job isn't quite the right word, side mission, soul mission, doing your soul mission work on the side as you can keep your job. I'm not here to tell you what version of success is going to fulfill you most. So I'd love you to tune in, even close your eyes. Tune in to the last time that you felt successful. Where were you? What were you doing? What was the environment? Who was around? Now pull that feeling of success and expand it out around your body. Sit in a bubble of your own success, remembering that you've already accomplished so much. You are already a successful person. Success is inevitable, and success on your terms is the only achievable success. When you're ready, allow your eyes to flutter open and let me know. Go to Soul Money Mastery, go to freeyourcreativity.org/Soul Money Mastery. I'll leave the links around, and let me know, what is your version of success? If you choose to continue the path together, I will definitely need to know. And I want you to know that my version of success is when I'm in the middle of a program. My people have already devoted themselves to the program. They're not in the wobbly decision fatigue stage of trying to decide if they're worthy, or trying to decide if they will complete the goal. They're decided. They're invested. They value my time, my presence, my teachings. And I'm in the middle of the program teaching my butt off, coaching people. They're having breakthroughs. They're nodding their head yes. They're grasping each and every word with a resonance so aligned that they're evolving in front of my eyes. And that is when I feel most successful. And for me, the byproduct of that is money. That feeling and know that I want to touch it again allows me to promote on days where I don't feel my hair is equipped to be on camera. That feeling calls me forth to do scary, wild things. That feeling invites me onto podcasts, even though I'd rather be eating ice cream in my undies. I live for the moments where my clients are communing with the teachings, with the channel. And so I hope to return us to that prayer. I hope this lesson touched you in all the ways that it needed to help you to decide yes or no, and commit to making a decision in, let's give you 24 hours. But when you can commit to making decisions quicker, then you will make money quicker, because entrepreneurship at a certain level is about making decision after decision and problem solving after problem solving, and devoting and recommitting when it gets hard. And that's truly what it is. We overcomplicate the whole thing. You don't need ads or a fancy funnel, but you will need a decision that will activate your most devoted self. And finally, I want to bring you to a quote. I want to end with a quote from Maya Angelou. And if you know a thing or two about Maya Angelou, despite all odds, despite systematic oppression and racism, despite horrendous childhood abuse, Maya Angelou encapsulated her wisdom in stories, in books, in poetry. She was a public speaker, an activist. And we still quote her. The people still quote the Maya Angelou. She was an icon, and I will forever be grateful to have lived in her divine time. And she lived in a different time, and it was harder for her, but she remained persistent, and she published her first book at 41. Now, I'll be 41 this year. And so if you have the doubt that it's too late or you're too old or you're too young, never. If you have persistence and you have a mission, which I'm going to be gifting an incredible visual representation of your mission to every single person who joins Soul Money Mastery, you're going to leave with a visual representation, an artwork, a piece that I create for you based on your mission statement. We're going to do it all together. It's going to be beautiful. But if you have a mission, you're willing to create this mission statement, you're willing to live it, you're willing to devote yourself to it, then you will succeed. Your success is inevitable, and you just get to decide, do you want it to be fun? Supportive? Do you want it to feel supportive and fun? Or do you want to try it out on your own? Or are you satisfied with letting more time go by without starting, at least, right? And you don't have to complete the goal in the 6 weeks. That's why the biz school is there, but we will start and we will make it to the point of no return together. That's where the gifts start to pour in. So a quote from Maya Angelou: "You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can still come out of it." Doesn't that align? The challenges means it's working. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. And I will leave it at that. I hope to see you inside Soul Money Mastery with all my heart. I'll talk to you so soon.